Is that better?
What's going
A
on,
little louder.
everybody? I am Big Rob. Welcome to Let's Talk Sports. I'm here with my host,
Standing here holding the light.
Brian.
Co-host.
We are missing the Big Cheese. He's on his way back from his Christmas vacation. And Walter comes in when he gets a chance. So let's get this. All right, all right. Everybody ready? We got a
Oh,
lot to talk about today. It's that time of the year. We got one more NFL game to go.
oh
Then
yeah.
we got the playoffs. I was just sitting here watching some this guy playing. He simulated the Madden game to the Bills versus the Dolphins, and I just be watching it to pass the time away. But anyway, let's talk about what we got going on this week. The one thing I want to really reach out and talk about is the opportunity for the Dolphins to bolster that defensive line by adding this young man right here. If we could go ahead, I mean, because one thing I want to say is Chubb is out. Chubb tore his ACL,
Yeah, he's done.
and
He's done.
yeah, he's out for the season. So and I know Adamakin Sue doesn't play the same position that Chubb plays, but if we can add Adamakin Sue to that defensive line for this push to the playoffs, it would mean so much to the team. I mean, so much to the team. So, hey, Coach McDaniel, if you listening, call that man. I know he's sitting at home eating a Philly cheesesteak. So give him a call and let's get him set up into this thing. B, how was your week, man?
You know, it's only winter, so I'll let you know and do this. Nah, it's been going, man. It's been tough. A lot of work, you know. But it's what I do. So
Yeah. Well, for
no,
you sports fans,
listen.
we got a full night tonight. For you sports fans, we got
Yeah,
the Hurricanes and Clemson men's basketball facing off tonight, and both of them have great records. University of Miami, I think, is 10-2, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, Clemson only lost one game this year.
yeah.
So that
Clemson's
should be,
got a better record than they do. Yeah,
yeah, so that should be a pretty good game tonight. If you guys want to tune in over there, it's going to be on ESPN, and it's also going to be on the ACC network. So
yeah.
I'm looking at this. This is going to be a test for the Hurricanes. I want to see them. I want to see. I really don't mind. I mean, I want them to win, but I don't mind if they don't win as long as they keep the game close and keep the game
Right,
competitive. That's my
right.
thing. Not like what I saw the other night with the Dolphins and the Ravens, where
Hey,
the
that was
Dolphins. I don't know what happened with that game.
hey,
I,
hey, that was rough, man.
yeah,
That was
that
bad.
was embarrassing. That was embarrassing to all Dolphin fans across the country, and there's a lot of them across the
Hey,
country.
but I won $50. Cause some dummy I know, George, and I'm gonna put him out there. He texted me and said, "Hey man, I like the Dolphins for 50." I'm like, "Yeah, bet, dummy." And I did not think it was gonna be like that. But like after like 4 minutes in the game, I'm like, "Well, give me my money. Game's over."
I know.
It was bad. It was really bad. And it doesn't make sense. And people keep talking about how they can't beat good teams, whether it's at home or on the road. And they're right to talk it because that's what's been happening. But it doesn't make sense to me because if you look on that, now I get it. Now Chubb's gone. Jalen Phillips has been gone for several weeks now, and he's not
Right.
coming back. I'm
Not this
telling you, he's
year.
not coming back. No, there's no way. So you're taking two of the premier, in my opinion, Jalen Phillips is in his first, he's a premier rusher, and that's just what he does. And you got to remember something about Jalen Phillips. He retired in college from football. Remember that now. He was at UCLA and he had all them injuries and he retired and then he transferred to UM. And boom, the love came back. Something happened. And then what he did for the Dolphins for the short time he was there before he got hurt, well, it was ridiculous, man. I mean, the guy's got ultimate talent. But now you get rid of him and now you get rid of Chubb. And it's a problem. It's a big
Yeah,
problem because
those are your two end rushers. You got your right side gone there and your left side gone.
You gotta have those guys, and I hate to tell you, and listen, I'm a Steelers diehard fan, but I'm a Dolphins fan because I grew up in Broward County my whole life, so I'm a Dolphins fan as long as they're not playing Pittsburgh. And
right.
I don't see who they can put in there. I just don't. I don't see it. I don't know what they can do. So because listen, they were already getting blown out by certain teams, even with those guys playing. Now they're gone. That hurts them big time. It hurts them.
Well, Kayla, you jump in the gun. We haven't even gotten to Washington yet. Washington and Michigan.
That methamphetamine is a son of a bitch, ain't it?
Well, since Kayla took us there, we're gonna go ahead and jump the gun and go ahead and talk about this game here, the national championship. I'm glad to see somebody other than Georgia or Alabama in the national championship game. Now, Kayla, you said you like Washington. Do I like Washington? I don't have a preference. I just want the game to be won with a field goal as time runs out. That means that it was a close game.
Yeah.
What did you say, Brian?
Well, here's the thing with Washington, and if you look at their history, because they've been in this position before. Maybe not before we had the playoff system, but they've been in this position before. The difference right now is they have a defense. That defense is nasty. That defense it's sick. They're nasty. They can stop the run. They can stop the pass. They can do all that. And here's the thing. They're not afraid to allow their offense to get into a shootout because, listen, if there's any team in college football, you do not want to get into a shootout with Michael Penix. You just don't. He throws the sweetest ball. It's ridiculous to watch him throw a ball, and it's almost like there's no effort. He just tosses it, and it's 40 yards down, and it's right in his own hand. It's been a long time to see. Now, here's the other guy, Milroe for Alabama, and yeah, they're done. They're going to move on, whatever. But he throws a great football. He really does. But Penix, he's so crisp. You know what I mean? He's so clean with the way he throws the ball. And that's what, listen, they have three wide receivers that legitimately could all go before the second round is over. That's how good they are. And then you have a quarterback back there that can throw that type of ball to them. I mean, they're a lot better than what they, like I said, back in the day, Washington was a team that you had to beat 55-45. You don't have to do that anymore. Now they will air it out, but you don't have to beat them like that anymore because that defense is actually very, very good. The only thing I say, I like Washington because I don't think Michigan has enough to cover all those receivers. And here's the other thing, which people are forgetting, because they're so good in the air, they're forgetting about their running game. That Washington team can run the football. So now you can't spy, you can't stunt. You got to do things that are gonna like Penix has been around. He's been around 6 years. He's been hurt. He's not been hurt. He's been playing. He's transferred to this school, to that school, to this school, to that school. And I think that's why it means so much to him. And I just don't see Michigan is a one-dimensional team. Realistically, let's be realistic. They're a running team. That's what they do. That's how they win. They're not running against Washington. They're not going to do that. They're going to have to be able to open up the game. And the only thing that's in their favor is McCarthy. That's a bad boy back there. He knows how to make adjustments and do things, but I don't know. I just don't think they have enough. You know, and like I said, it might be a shootout. But at the end of the day, I don't think they have enough. I just don't. Michigan is in the conference. And it's not about their conference, but their team is a team that is a hard-nosed run the ball, get a 5-8 yard screen, run the ball, you know what I mean? And then once in a while, go for that deep ball and keep teams honest. You can't do that with Washington. That team's not going to let you do that. And I don't know if that's going to be the case. I don't. But I tell you what, that Penix dude, listen, all the injuries that poor kid has been through, do you have any idea what his history is? He has been through some serious injuries. He shouldn't even be walking right now. And he's throwing the ball effortlessly 70 yards from his knees. That's crazy. And when you have that type of player that's got that much drive, he's got a lot going for him. He can't beat Michigan by himself, by no means. But
No, that's definitely true.
I don't think Michigan's good enough. I don't. Harbaugh, all that, and it's us against the world and all that. Listen, that's every year. There's always a team that says it's us against the world. I get it. You've got a lot of problems that have gone on there here, but listen about it. They have problems going on because they brought those problems amongst themselves. They brought those problems on. So everybody can say, oh, Jim Harbaugh, after missing all these games, well, he should have missed those games. Realistically, he probably shouldn't even be coaching right now. All the shit that, you know what I mean? But he's there. He's a good coach. He's going to make them up and get them excited and all that. I just don't know if it turns into a shootout. I think Michigan's got a problem, like a big problem. I really do. Because I don't see McCarthy throwing the ball 40 yards down the field every time he gets the ball. Because he's got nobody to throw to. He's got a guy that's 5'9", 180 pounds. Wilson. Not saying he's not good, but he does not have what Washington has. So if it turns into a shootout, Michigan's coach. And then guess what Harbaugh's going to do next year? Shit. The Chargers, baby. That's where he's going. I'm telling you, that's where he's going.
He's hired an agent, so he's going to be entertaining NFL offers.
Oh yeah.
To get back into the NFL. So I think that this is his last hurrah with Michigan.
Yeah, absolutely. He's gone. There's no reason for it. Listen, he loves the kids, and I'll give him that because he does. But man, it's about your career choices. You got to do what's right for you. Listen, all these kids want to transfer and NIL and all this and all that. Well, he's got to do the same thing. He will. I'm telling you now, and I'll put money on it. I got $100 right now. Anybody that says he's not coaching the Chargers next year, they're crazy. He's going to be coaching that team next year. I'm telling you. They've been talking about him, and they're getting rid of State. Well, they already got rid of him. But who's in line? Who are they really going to pick up? So you're going to bring somebody like Harbaugh with all that pedigree with his brother, and all this other stuff that they got going on. I don't see. I just don't see another person right now. maybe Eric Bieniemy, only because he's deserved the head coaching job for the last 2-3 years, period, and he hasn't gotten it. But they're not talking much about him, and he's an offensive guy. Harbaugh is an all-around coach. You know,
Correct.
he can do it all. And that's
we're gonna see what happens Monday night. I mean, like I said earlier, it's just refreshing to see two new teams in the national championship game and not have Alabama or Georgia in the national championship game because Nick Saban he had his shot. It would have been nice to see Texas and Alabama in a rematch because they played early this year. But I'm happy with who's in there, so I'm a tune in. Maybe make me some chili dogs for the game. Maybe go to the store and pick up me some ice cold Modelos and see what happens.
Hey,
But huh?
I like chili dogs.
You like chili dogs? Come on by, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna drive 14 hours to get it. But hey, you know what though? It'll be worth it because I get to hang out with you, and I ain't got to hang out with you in 15 years. So
yeah, we're gonna plan something sometime soon. My next thing I want to talk about is the game tonight. The Miami Heat, if they can put together a full roster, going up against the Los Angeles Lakers. The Heat haven't had a full roster and God knows how long. Everybody's always out.
Hey, you know what it is? Butler plays, Hero and Adebayo don't play. Hero and Adebayo play, Butler don't play. It's nonstop back and forth. It's like a seesaw. It's back and forth, and I don't know why they do it. And I'm not being rude, but they do it on purpose. They know what to do, and you really can't question the Heat because of what their track record is. But it sucks when you want to watch a game and the other team's got all their players, and then we're missing two of the best players in the game and expect them to compete. It doesn't make sense to me.
Now you think it's bad for me and you? We watch it on TV. We ain't paid nothing to watch it. What about those people who bought those tickets and went to the game to see these players and Jimmy Butler sitting on the bench and Tyler Hero sitting on the bench? That's who I paid to see, and I can't even. I'm seeing him in street clothes.
Hey, but you know what? That's what they've talked about. You know how they talk about how teams rest players? That's what they talk about. They say, how can you deprive 5, 8, 10-year-old kids that show up to a game hoping to see like Steph Curry, and he's sitting out because it's a back-to-back game. You're making $100 million a year. You better play back-to-back games. Listen, I tell you what. Pay me $5 million. I'll wash your drawers. I don't even need to wear a uniform. I will wash your drawers for $5 million a year, and you can put my face on there with the boxes in my hand. I'm cool with that. But these guys want to get paid $100 million a year, and they sit out half the season. I don't understand that. Because, we came up at a time when it wasn't like that.
Right.
You know?
Everything now is commercialized. You look at, they've even gone as far as the NIL. Now we're going to start paying the college players. Everybody's got to get a piece of the pie. When they going to start paying the payment?
Hey, I tell you what, I'll buy season tickets tomorrow if they're going to pay me for it.
Yeah. When they gonna, hey, I want to give a shout out to Baby 10 from Port Phillips. He tuning in. Thanks for checking us out. Hey, 10, my condolences, man. I know that Florida State game was not what you had anticipated. Whew, boy. but it was just as bad as that Dolphin in Baltimore game.
Can I say something? Not really, not to be a hole, but Tim, check it out. 673 yards of offense, over 9 yards per play, 63 points, and yet they were complaining about saying they deserve to be. And now listen, people will say, "Oh well, players didn't play." The best player in college football, as far as I'm concerned, did not play for Georgia. Not to mention a few of the other players. So you can
Right.
say what you want to say. But if you put those 4 players that didn't play for Florida State on that field, I hate to tell you, Georgia still bounces them. Now, I'm not saying this because I'm a UN fan, but I think it's great because all week, 2 weeks straight, they talked about how, well, if we win out and we're the only undefeated team, we deserve to be the national champion. And then you go out and you drop a bomb like that. Are you serious? 63?
Yeah. And you know,
it's a modern baseball record. That's crazy.
and they'll say, okay, we was playing with our third string quarterback. Yeah, that might be true, but you know, I mean, you have to play with who you got to play with.
Exactly.
Hey, Brian, the quarterback didn't play defense. He wasn't the one who gave us 53 points.
And check this out. He's also not the coach. So, I mean, he goes out there to play with what he's got. Here's the thing. And now listen, am I saying the game wouldn't have been better if all those players played? Well, of course it would have been. That's common sense. But this is when, remember when we talked about NIL and all this? People want to sit out. Listen, I saw 6 out of those 7 guys that did not play the game in a jersey on the sidelines, jumping up and down before the game started. But yet they can't play the game.
Right.
They chose not to play that game. So if it meant that much to them, then why the hell didn't they play? Because let me tell you something. Michigan, Alabama, Texas, there's a lot of players on those teams that did not have to play that game. And then you get people that will say, well, they were in the national title hunt. So was Florida State.
Yeah.
Or a lot of these teams. It doesn't matter if you have to play a different bowl game. Prove your point. You're talking about how if we win, we should be the best. Okay, well then win. Get out there and play the game and win the game.
Well, next year they're expanding to, I believe it's 8 teams. So, Florida State, they had a chance to get in next year if they could do the same thing they did this year.
Yeah, they're in trouble.
Yeah. Because
but you know what's going to happen with that is you're going to get a lot of games that are going to be washouts just because people are going to make it based on that they won their conference and blah. But you're always still right. You're still going to have those 4, maybe 6 teams that are always going to compete until something changes now because you have the NIL and you have the transfer and you have all this. It's going to be a mess. It's going to be a big mess. It's not going to be like it was when we watched it, back with Erickson and you know what I'm saying, and Dorsey and Porter and Quentin Portis and all those guys, Sean Taylor, Andre King, all those guys played the game. Peter Warwick from Florida State. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and throw a shout out to Florida State because they've got some badass players also, but you're not going to see that anymore because if someone doesn't like what's going on, all they have to do is leave. And you couldn't do that back when those guys played football. What Chris Mankey, what was his name? 27 years old. He decided to play football. Come out and be one of the best. Charlie Ward. You got guys from Florida State that were just as good as Miami, and they might have been better than anybody in the country. You're not going to see that anymore because if someone doesn't like what's going on, they're just going to say, you know what, I'm going to go see what it's like over here on the West Coast. And you know what's funny? If you look at it, very rarely does that work out. It just doesn't. It doesn't work out that good because now you're going to a whole new system and you're not comfortable. Now you think because you left, you have to be a certain type of player, and it's going to change everything. And it sucks, but it's making sports, especially college football, not one that you even want to watch anymore because it's just becoming crazy. You got cheerleaders joining football teams now. It doesn't make sense to me. It's just crazy.
While we ripping on Florida State, I want to take time out to say, us Hurricane fans, we don't have room to talk either.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
That game that University of Miami played against Rutgers was ridiculous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once again, we played with our third string quarterback, but our third string quarterback is supposed to have some sort of skill set. He's supposed to be a good runner and a passer. And now he's saying that he's not going to enter the transfer portal because I'm quite sure somebody filled his head up and said, "Oh, you played a great game against Rutgers. You just didn't have the people around you because all your star receivers are hitting the transfer portal, so you had to play with backups." Man, that's who you're going to have to play with next year. So if you couldn't do it against Rutgers, what are you going to do when you have to go out there and play against Florida State? You have to go out there and play against Clemson.
Exactly. You have to be able to play with and against whoever. And I wasn't saying anything bad against MSU. Matter of fact, I brought up some of their prior players. That team has always been a stand-up college team. They always have been. But I'm just trying to say, this is what happens when you let all this stuff get involved. Oh, look at this guy. What the hell is that?
Hey, look at it. The clean face, baby face.
I love it. Look at this guy. Kara told me about that. Look at this guy. He looks like a doctor.
You know what?
He looks so professional.
When you want to become a champion, you got to look good. When you're going to
Lord, Brian, he said he's gonna take you out this weekend. He said it's over with.
Oh my goodness. Hey, I might just let you say, hell with it, take it, because the best. Are you sure? What is it? What I have to do? Did you lose
wait. Well, first of all, I'll take that $100 bet that you want. No problem. You won't watch it.
Washington? Absolutely. I like it. What happened? Hey, Walt. Hey, Willie, tell me the truth. What made you do that? Like, I'm not knocking it, but what happened, man?
It was
you must have made you a new lady, man.
Actually, it was what's her name last week? Me and Rod talked about what's her name?
Tracy.
Tracy told me to say, "Hey, Walter, share your kid, for New Year, you never know what might happen." But listen, this week I become a number one Dolphin fan because I need the Dolphins to beat Buffalo this week. We need the Dolphins to beat Buffalo. So I hope they do.
First things first, y'all need to take out Baltimore first. If y'all don't beat Baltimore Saturday, it don't matter what the Dolphins do if y'all don't beat Baltimore.
Rudolph did his job the last 2 weeks, and he's going to do another week. I told you, Rudolph was the savior. They should have put Rudolph in a long time ago, but they were trying to. Mr. Pickett was crying. Pickett was crying like a little baby, like he's doing now. Listen, when you don't play, and somebody else comes in there and plays for you, hey, you just got to sit the pine, baby. You just got to sit the pine. That's how it is. That's how it works in the NFL. You need winning teams, winning quarterbacks. And Pickett just ain't got it. We don't have it.
Okay, so you saying Rudolph is the man.
That's right. I'm not saying Rudolph is the key, but right now Rudolph is doing what he's supposed to do. Rudolph is doing what a Flacco is doing. He's coming in there and he's winning.
1 minute.
That's what all that counts. In the NFL, when you win, that's win game, then that's what people talk about. And all he's doing now is making a game for himself. Because if they let him go, they're he's going to be in good shape because of what he's doing right now. He's trying to show you he's a decent quarterback and he can get the job done. Somebody's going to give him a chance after what he's doing, especially if they get in the playoffs. Why?
Yeah, well, it's gonna be good. We got games on Saturday. We got games on Sunday. It's gonna be interesting.
Of course.
So
See, I told you there's a reason why they did that. They did that for the reason being is they wanted to put the Dolphins in at the last game on Sunday night because, like I said, the Steelers play Saturday, the Colts and the Texans play Saturday. So one of them are going to be out, and then they see with Jacksonville goes at 1 o'clock on Sunday, and then it's going to come down to something on Monday. I'm telling you, it's going to come down to Monday. I'm telling you, Monday is going to come down to
that Sunday night game is gonna determine a lot about the playoffs. That Sunday night game with the Dolphins and Bills is gonna determine a lot about who gets in and who gets out, who gets left out.
Listen, this is how it's going to run. Pittsburgh is going to beat Baltimore. Baltimore don't care right now. They don't care right now. That's why Pittsburgh is actually favored to get the points in Baltimore. So that's telling you something like that. But the thing is, they're gonna turn out winning. Okay.
You break it up, Walt.
It doesn't matter when
You must be going through a tunnel. The water's breaking up. You must be going through a tunnel. Because he be on that tunnel.
Here's the thing. Baltimore, and I'm not saying this because it's in Pittsburgh's favor, but the reality is Baltimore's going to sit some players, and it's going to be Lamar. That's not fun. They're sitting him. They aren't even trying to put him out there with Rob. They're going to sit him. They're going to sit some other players.
No, I mean, Brian, I thought that same thing. And then when I looked, Baltimore said that Lamar will play. He just won't play the whole game. The starters will play, but they won't play the whole game.
So they'll play a couple series, and then they're gone.
Right, they treat it like a preseason game.
Well, they're gonna play a guy that will come around that corner and break his leg. And if he does, you listen. You don't even have to be a Pittsburgh fan. Highsmith and Watt on both ends are probably the best combination in the league right now. And if they get a hold of you, they're gonna break it off. You know what I mean? That's just the way they play. So I hope Baltimore snaps because they've already locked all that stuff in. But then again, I hope they're not. Because if Pittsburgh beats them, nobody can say, it's because they didn't play their players. No, Pittsburgh's got a good chance because of their defense. They might not expect them to change the game, but their defense keeps them in all their games. That's the reason why they're in the position they're in. Their defense is the only reason why they're where they're at.
Well, the Dolphins got problems all around. But they got Jalen Waddle listed as questionable, Raheem Mostert listed as questionable, Robert Hunt, the offensive tackle, listed as questionable. Jerome Baker is on IR, so he's out. And then you got Tua Tagovailoa listed as questionable for the game.
Listen, it's a possibility that the Dolphins might, if it comes out to where Pittsburgh gets in, it's a possibility the Dolphins going to have to play Buffalo back to back. And it's going to be in Buffalo. The Dolphins, I don't think the Dolphins really care if they lose because in a way I think they do because it's the division, but in a way I don't think they don't because they're already in the playoffs regardless. So like I said, either which way they know they're in the playoffs, but either which way, if they let Buffalo win, there's a chance they might be playing Buffalo again in Buffalo.
Yeah, well, the Dolphins still have the Dolphins can't afford to rest any players because we still have something to play for. We're trying to play to win the AFC East. So we don't have time to be resting players unless you're hurt. But everybody that's able to suit up needs to be out there on that field.
Absolutely. And if they win, they get a first game. They get a game at home.
Yeah, to get a game at home.
You want to play at home. You don't want to play on the road to start the playoffs. You just don't want to do that. Give yourself some momentum and then go for the next thing and do whatever. And that's a game right there. That Buffalo team. Buffalo's got a lot to play for too now. So, and listen, as much as I hate Buffalo, oh boy, that
Right.
season. Yeah.
I'm rooting
Well,
for him. Like
another
I said,
thing that we haven't mentioned is Josh Allen is nursing a neck injury.
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
So, I mean, all it can take is for him to get hit one time by Wilkins. He gets sacked one time by one of the defensive linemen. He might have to sit out the rest of the game.
listen, I just want Miami to win that game and beat Buffalo. It helps me put out a lot. But
Of
if
course,
Jacksonville
of
loses,
course, you'll be a Miami fan now
it's
because you
hard for
need Miami
Jacksonville
to
to
win
lose.
so y'all can get in.
Yeah, but if Jacksonville loses, it makes it easier for us. If Jacksonville loses, because if Jacksonville loses, Jacksonville gets knocked out. The coach wins the division. Regardless, Texas get in, and Buffalo also gets in. So it's a weird scenario. That's why I said I think the whole thing's gonna come down to that last game on Sunday night. There's gonna be people looking to see who's gonna win that game and see if they get in the playoffs.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be a highly wild game. That's gonna be all kind of hard for that game.
Like I said, I like the Dolphins. I'm like,
Well, what? You know what? Something wrong with your audio, Walt, because it sounds like you in a room full of ducks.
Yeah, man, he is.
Man, I had to mute Walter.
Yeah, that was rough. That got
He
rough.
sound like he in a room full of ducks.
That was rough, dude. It got better. I can hear him after a while, but then it got rough.
Yeah, I hate to do that to Walt, but I'm gonna have to kick him off the stage because I don't know.
I know what he's saying, and it makes sense. You know, first off, we already know Dolphins need to beat Buffalo. Pittsburgh,
Yeah, that's a given.
and the way Buffalo's been playing. Listen, they could say Josh Allen this, Josh Allen that. That boy ain't shitting out, man. That boy don't shit out football games. He's been doing it his whole career. That boy plays football. He is 6'5", 235 pounds. I mean, he's not the type of quarterback that's going to take time off. He's a big boy. That's the way he plays. I think with what the Dolphins are dealing with, missing the types of players they're missing, and then like you said, most stars and certain players that would normally be a factor, they're not going to play. I'm sorry, they're not going to play because they're going to hope that it gets them healthy and they play. Listen, the Dolphins aren't afraid to play on the road, obviously, because they win on the road. So I think what McDaniel's hoping is that they can just continue that road thing. But listen, as a wild card team, to win on the road and go all the way through, can we go ahead and just, real quick, without me saying it, who was the last team that did that and won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
And it's not easy to do. It's very hard to do. And the teams that are in front of it, listen, the AFC, all right, NFC, you got the Niners, you got Dallas, you got the Eagles. As far as I'm concerned, the Eagles are a wash because they don't even know how to tie their own shoes right now. Now, I'm not saying they can't get it together because they're talented enough to do that. But I don't know if they will in time to make a run. I think in the NFC, regardless of who's won or who hasn't won, if they're healthy, the Niners are the team to beat. That's just, I don't see how you combat that type of an offense when they're all healthy. Then you go to the AFC and you got teams that some people don't. And now The other team I will say in the NFC is Detroit. I like them only because they can get into a shootout and they can beat you, and they still have a good defense. You
Okay.
get into the AFC. You get into the AFC. I mean, who do you really have? Like, let's be. Who's really stood out in the AFC? Like, let's be honest. Like, actually stood out. Baltimore. Nothing
Yeah.
against the Dolphins. Nothing against these other teams, but Baltimore is the team in the AFC because the Chiefs washed. Sorry, they're not what they used to be. They don't have the same weapons. That's why Mahomes is having to do what he's having to do because he never had to do that before. But if you look from conference to conference, I mean, as long as Baltimore's alive, I don't care who they play. You got a problem.
Right.
And listen, I cannot stand Baltimore, but Baltimore is who they are, and that's just. I mean, you can't take it away from them. That's just how good they are. I don't see another team in the AFC. Here's the thing: the Dolphins can score 50 points, but they can also give up 50 points. Um, I don't know if that's going to work in the playoffs. I just don't. I just don't see
Yeah,
it. I
they're
don't
gonna
think they can do that.
the Dolphins are gonna have to keep some teams out of the end zone. I mean, it might be hard
No.
to keep Buffalo. I mean, keep Buffalo from kicking field goals, but we got to put a spy on Josh Allen because we're
Cool.
not gonna be able to let him just run around back there in the backfield and then take off running whenever he feels like it because
Exactly.
that's a recipe for
And,
disaster.
and you know that's what he's going to do because that's what he always does.
Right,
That's just what Josh Allen does. He does that against. It could be the second week of the season. It could be the 14th week of the season. It doesn't matter. That's the way he plays the game. And that's why I said if he has a chance, he's as good as any in the game. And then he's another one. I don't like him. I don't like Lamar Jackson. But I'm not going to say they're not good players. Are you kidding me? They're two of the elite quarterbacks in the game. And there's a reason why they're elite quarterbacks. Because when their team doesn't have a chance, they find a way to make it. You know?
right. They
That's
find a
just
way to
the
get
way
it
they
to
are.
him.
Absolutely.
Well, we're gonna see we're definitely gonna see what happens. I'd like to say hello to Tracy. She had chimed in a little earlier. Put your little comment back up here, Tracy. I know you said hello. I hope you had a great day and happy New Year.
Hey!
Happy New Year to you, Tracy. A happy Kitty Patriots was tuning in. I don't know what's up with the eyes. I guess that's just to say you was watching. All right, we got you, brother. We appreciate you tuning in.
And
10, I don't know if you're still watching, but I'm gonna give you a call. Hey Brian, I know we usually tune in to the Porch Fellas, but they threw a
yeah,
curveball. They
they
threw
did
a
it yesterday.
curveball and had a show last night.
Yeah, yesterday. Yeah, I saw that. Because I got a notice and I'm like, wait a minute, what day? I thought I was missing the days or something. I'm like, what the hell day is it?
Yeah, Porch Fellas usually air on Wednesday nights at 7:30, but last night they tuned in at. I mean, they did a show at 7:30 last night, and it was one of them crazy shows. Oh Lord, Tracy said, "Hey there, Kayla." Tracy said, "Hey guys."
Oh, there is Kayla.
She
Kayla.
probably in the kitchen, getting ready to cook some dinner.
Now, Shabby did that. She made green chicken, boy. I can't wait to eat that.
Green chicken.
Yeah, chicken with some green, like Italian sauce. The whole
Oh,
house. Hey, the
I
whole
never,
house smells like a restaurant. The
I
whole
never heard
house
of
smells like a
green.
restaurant.
I never heard of green chicken.
And neither did I, but I gotta be honest with you, not because she's my girl, but let me tell you something. When she decides to do something outside of the box, it works.
Okay.
And everybody already ate it, and they said, "You're missing out." I'm like, "Well, I'm not missing out. I'm just taking a little bit of a break, and I'm gonna get it when I go in there. I'm gonna get it.
Right.
And I still gotta take a shower. I gotta get myself right. I gotta wrestle with my dogs, because I gotta do what I do. But trust me, eating I'm 230 pounds now, Rob. 230
200.
pounds.
You weigh more than me now. Kayla sent me the picture.
Rob, how many years did you know me and I was 145 soaking wet?
Yeah, you were. I'm not gonna say a skinny dude, but you were a thin dude.
I mean, I had the cut. I had the cut. I just didn't have the weight. Now, Rob, I can't bend over and find my work shoe without running out of breath. So I gotta.
I think you was 200 pounds carrying your bowler balls.
That was when I had 3 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, now it's off the wall now. Now I'm there, but I gotta be honest with you, I need to take better care of myself because of my heart issue and all that stuff. I like to eat, and I'm not gonna stop eating. I'm gonna eat, but I have to start doing things a little bit different because it's not gonna work if I keep doing it this way. Because I put on a lot of weight very fast, and it's gonna go one of 2 ways. I'm either gonna maintain it or I'm gonna let it get out of hand. And I can't. I listen. I want to see my kids graduate, man. That's it, And then I want to go to that next step. So and I owe it to them. I'm their dad. I need to be there for that.
I got you. I understand that. Well, we're gonna get ready to get out of here. It was like always. It was good to see you, man.
Yeah,
You go and eat your green chicken, and we'll be back next week, everybody. So if you enjoy the show, please hit like on the YouTube. I mean on Facebook, and hit subscribe on Facebook. Until next week.